It's definitely higher than ours.
It
I'm
sure
just
is.
messing around.
Now, this may not be the Wild Wild West, but it is definitely talking hoops. So we thank everyone for tuning in. Sorry for a delayed start, as there was a phone call that had to be taken care of as we troubleshoot. We do everything on the show: troubleshoot, engineer. Let's see, we marry folks. We just do everything here. That's what we do here at Talking Hoops. But thank you all for tuning in and for hanging in there. We like to thank everyone once again for being back with us on another Wednesday night hump day. For those who like to make sure that it is the middle part of the week. It's almost over, 5 days away from Christmas. And looks like someone already apparently has a fly gift. And I'm not talking about me. Not at all. I'm not talking about me. Someone's already looking fly in the studio.
Talking about me? Angel? You talking about me?
It is. It's Ron. You hit it.
Come on. You ain't talking about me, bro.
Hey, listen, once again, Coach Johnson just coming in here and fly. I think one coach out there in LSU needs to see what actual fashion and quality is, because it is the Coach Johnson. As I had her turn, of course, I should have said turn her head instead of the computer. But and for those who don't know, if you didn't see Mr. and Mrs. Coach Johnson on IG over the weekend, listen, Ebony, GQ, who else can I name out there? Oprah. Somebody better get these cameras out there, because these two, they got the spotlight. I'm starting to feel like I need a Coach Johnson and Mr. Johnson autograph picture over here in the studio. So I go back and I'm like, oh, okay, yeah, I remember her. I remember she used to be on Talking Hoops.
I definitely want.
Look, the helium, okay, is you gonna make me float away here.
Hey. They roll out
blowing
the red
it up,
carpet.
Angel. My head might
red
off
carpet, and I want a picture with an autograph of her and her husband on it. Now
I know. Listen,
my request is in.
Okay. Now, what Coach Johnson missed out was Coach Mack came, literally, she was Wonder Woman tonight. She walked through her wall. I don't know how she did it, but she walked through her wall. You missed out.
Angel said that. Angel said,
I just appeared out of
how'd
nowhere.
you do that? She goes, what? He said, you walked right through your wall?
It's
you
incredible.
Got the Harry Potter vibes going on. And wasn't it a brick wall in Harry Potter? Wasn't the secret passageway a brick wall?
That's what Coach Mack, that's what she did. I'm telling you, it was crazy. I could hear her talking and I was like, what? Where'd she come from? It's crazy.
She has some power, man.
She
does.
Powers.
That's what I do.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
all right.
I
see you, Coach Mack.
Bro.
I see you.
That's what I say. I see you, girl.
This is what if you guys don't come back every single night, we thank those who watch over from Twitch and from everywhere else. Thank you for listening on Sports Radio 102.9. Oh, well, hold on. Wait. Someone entered the room.
Say it ain't so. Say it ain't so.
There you go. Mama Davis, I'm here. Let's go. She got her sounder.
Hey, Mama Davis.
Yeah. Hey, Mom.
See, now, Mama Davis, what you missed out on, we were just talking about Mr. and Mrs. Coach Johnson and how fly they looked over the weekend. So you missed out on all that. You missed out how Coach Max, she was walking through walls. It's crazy. I'm telling you. I'm going to start sitting back here and watching the celebrities, that is the guest panel here, watching do their thing, because it's getting bigger. I don't know, Coach Johnson, I'm starting to feel some kind of way here. I don't know.
Oh, no. Angel. Oh no, this little hairstyle. This is the in between.
I like how she said that. This little, you know.
Yeah, this little style.
That ain't
I know,
nothing,
compared to
man.
on
You
the
ain't
weekend.
seen nothing.
I need to grab a photo. Huh?
Wait till we come back after the holiday break.
Oh. Okay. I see. All right.
I just, Coach Mack, and I don't know if you can feel me on this, but I just cannot bring myself to pay somebody to do something that I can do. I just can't bring myself to do it. So,
nope.
So I have that luxury of doing my own hair. And since I do my own hair, well then, hey, you got to mix it up a little bit.
I see
That's
that.
the beauty of the versatility of being natural.
Yes.
We love it.
Agreed.
That is true. That is very true. I will say, I will take the honors. I do Ron's hair every week to make sure that everything looks fly.
But you didn't do it right. But you brought it up. You opened the door. I'm just saying, you gotta do a better job.
Now, Angel, question.
Uh-huh.
When you buff, do you buff to the left or do you buff to the right?
Hey, too much information, Angel. Too much information. We ain't going there.
All right, I'll save that one then. I'll make sure. But I do the Karate Kid style, just to give everybody a little bit of hint. It's a throwback movie. Oh, so I brought this up, all right, on the other show, and we'll get into some NBA stuff here because there is stuff to talk about, including Coach Kim, which I still think there's some behind-the-scenes stuff going on. But does anyone here, Ron Hurd is talking about it on Martinez, the company over there on the Tony Bruno Sports Network, but do you guys watch any reality TV?
Occasionally.
Okay. Do you watch TLC by any chance?
Not recently.
Occasionally. Like on Friday or Saturday when things are not, like in football mode or something like that.
All right. So my next question would end up being, I'm going to, Coach Mack, I'm going to put like you were just single, right? Just for hypothetical purposes. You didn't have any kids. You were never married. None of that stuff. Okay. Coach Johnson, I'm going to put you in the same booth. No kids, no, husband, no nothing. Okay. Mama Davis, don't worry about it. They were really cute. Talk about the picture over the weekends for those that end up missing out. I was waiting for the comment to come up there. But so if you meet someone, right? And again, just take away Mr. Johnson for a moment. If you were to meet someone, would you meet him here stateside or would you go overseas?
Honestly, I've actually done a long distance relationship with someone overseas, and I'm very into that. Oh, yeah, throwing it out there.
Where's the tea? Hold on.
Right.
There's experience up in this room, man.
Hey, if we're gonna have the conversation, let's have the conversation.
Okay, let's have it. Listen, you got the floor. You have the floor.
But no, I actually done a long distance relationship with someone. I went to college with him, so let me say that it wasn't anybody I met online. Make sure I say that first. But he was living in Australia for a couple of years, and then he finally moved to the States. So yeah.
Okay.
That's
fair.
All right. See, when you say find somebody overseas, like, am I physically over there too?
No. It started here, and then eventually you made your way over there once you met him.
Angel, I've seen too many episodes of Catfish. I am the Catfish era. Catfish was the thing when I was in high school. So some of those episodes really scarred me that I don't think I could ever even meet somebody offline. Like, I mean, the schemes that people pull to run a catfish is crazy.
Right?
It is.
It's crazy. You would have to pretty much almost send me your social to prove your identity to me.
With blood sample.
Yeah, with the blood.
What a family history.
Exactly. Firstborn, last thought, what did you eat this morning? All that good fun stuff. So it'll be a quiz later. So for those who know. But no, it's just, what makes me laugh is, so Debbie and I we ended up watching TLC, which everybody remembers back in the day. It was a learning channel. I don't know what it's called anymore. It's definitely not the Learning Channel. Excuse me. But these people find folks, right, overseas. And then the relationship doesn't work. And then they want to come on and spill the tea, coffee, the Mylanta, you name it, they spill everything. And my thing is like, if you're going to meet somebody overseas, first of all, you already know you got to apply for the K-1 visa. That's number one. Then you're going to go to their country when you know that usually Americans are normally not welcome somewhere else because of the freedom that we have, depending on what country you go to. And our lifestyles are completely different. They think that we're more risque, but mind you, France is as risque as it gets. So my thing is like, you go over there, you meet this person, then you come back on the telephone like, I don't like them. You know, I should have known better. How many millions upon millions of people are here in the U.S.? And you mean to tell me you couldn't find somebody here, but you went over there, and then you're going to complain, and then come back over here and talk about it just didn't work. Really? What gave it away? Was it the phony picture they sent from the very beginning? The phony profile? It amazes me with these people. It cracks me up. It really does crack me up. But anyways, we had talked about it over the show week, so we talk about every little thing possibly out there. But I just found it interesting. So, Mr. Johnson, you may now resume with your marriage. Just had to borrow that moment for about 5 minutes. But no, it amazes me when it comes to people. But the NBA.
You know, what's kind of funny, Angel, just a quick side note is that
Sure.
Me and Mr. Johnson actually met overseas.
But you're both stateside.
Yes, correct.
Right. So see, that's different though. It's now I will say because so Debbie's niece met her husband when she was studying abroad. He's originally from France.
Okay.
And so they met while they both of them were in college. She was studying abroad, and then he moved and lives here in the U.S. And his English has gotten a lot better. When he first came over, he didn't it was like next to nothing. But he thought, and because you get lost in translation, he thought when he was speaking there, everybody was kind of laughing, and no one was actually laughing at him because we were trying to tell him, like, you're doing a good job, and he's gotten better. Now his brother's here trying to learn the English language as well, so he can kind of broaden his horizons. But I mean, he moved over here, and the family's been just fine. They go every other year, they swap. So they go to France for Christmas
Nice.
1 year, and then the following year they stay here stateside. But it's worked out fine for them. So it's not everyone comes out with a disaster relationship, but I think if you meet, like you and Mr. Johnson, for example, you guys met overseas. So I think if you're there and you have the time to get to know the person and this and that, you're fine. But when you're looking through, let me see. So nope. If you're doing one of those numbers, it's ridiculous. Yeah, because I mean, come on, let's be real. That would be like if Coach Mack and I, as good friends as we are now. But let's say if her and I went out there because the NBA told us, you know what, we need both you guys to come overseas, and we have this crazy demonstration you guys want to lead. Now Coach Mack and I are both over there, and she looks like, what do you think about this person over here? So you got to kind of feel the person up. Not these folks. They're like, yep, that's the one I want to be with. But you don't even know that person. No, I don't have to get to know him. It's just the person I want to be with. It's just to me, it's just nuts. But anyways, it's kind of interesting the way that works. But the in-season tournament, folks, no one is digging the in-season tournament. Even though it's over, it's still being talked to days after. And no offense, raising a banner was absolutely ridiculous. Ridiculous. It's just the way I feel. I know, Coach Johnson, you might be proud because you're Lakers, which is a team I cannot stand, but that's neither here nor there. But I just think, to me, and Coach, I'll start with you first. Truthfully, okay, so you won the tournament. We get it. It's a first-year thing. But did you really have to have a ceremony and raise the banner?
Now, I do agree. That is a bit of a reach. That is a reach about hanging a banner. I feel like everybody got they'll probably get some type of trophy to put, at the gym. And they got their money. For the first year, I think hanging a banner is excessive because banners are meant for jersey retirements or championships. Now, yes, we could call that a championship, but it's not an NBA championship. So I will say, if LeBron James wasn't on the team, they probably wouldn't have raised the banner. Let's be honest. But it's in his first season, and of course, LeBron James wins it. So, Angel, these are one of he's on his, let's say, last 5 seasons, right? Because I mean, everybody talks about how, LeBron's this, LeBron's that. There's no other player in the NBA that receives the level of critique that he receives at 38 years old. There's not a
Right.
single one. So, and there's plenty of guys we could look at, like Chris Paul. But anywho, it was just a little excessive. It was too much.
All right. Now, before I get to my next LeBron comment here, but Coach Mack, your thoughts?
I mean, it's the in-season tournament. Nobody knew what was really going on, so it was like, what's the point? But
Right.
I mean, you got it up there. Yay! Now what? I just need y'all to win the regular season. Can I get y'all to do that? Because the record right now is terrible. So can we focus on that more so
Right.
than anything else?
Ron?
Well, I agree with what both say, but I'll tell you what, the Lakers have went back to their old ways after winning the tournament, and some other teams have went back to their old ways after playing in the in-season tournament. So I don't think it was that much of a big motivation, uh, because they went out and did what they had to do, but still in all, they just returned to the old things they were doing.
Mm-hmm.
And of course, like I'm gonna jump on my soapbox this time because I have to talk about my New Orleans Pelicans that lost to the mighty Lakers, and Zion looked really bad again. And then they turn around and they win 4 in a row. He even scores like 34,
Mm-hmm.
maybe 38 points in one game. He looks like a superstar. And then like last night when John Morant's come back, he looked like he just didn't want to play. He had a couple of fouls on him, and yes, he sounds like I'm talking like he was really slow and making his decision, and he didn't play that many. He only scored 15 points, and Moran scores 34 points in the game-winning shot. And I'm like, dude, what are you doing? It was down to New Orleans selecting John or Zion. And guess who they took? The wrong one, Zion.
Ah,
So I'm
ah.
like, man, I wish we could redo this, man. But anyway, the in-season tournament, first year, little excitement during the tournament, but we're going to see what's going to happen next year and see if it's going to be that much fire and that much interest. Because if it's not, then they're going to try something else new, and charge the people more money.
Mm-hmm.
So I really I'm up in the air with it. In a way I like it, in a way I really don't like it. But shouldn't have raised a banner for it.
Yeah, I agree.
Sure enough. As Mama Davis says, he got smacked last night. But the
Tell
other thing
Mama
was
Davis,
to
take it easy. Take it easy on my team. All right. Take it easy on my team. We led almost the whole game until the last 6 minutes, and then all of a sudden we lost our mind. We didn't know how to play defense. We didn't know how to stop nobody. We couldn't hit a shot. I mean, it's like we went in the huddle and took some forget you how to play poison or something. Let me get off
right.
my soapbox. Y'all got it. Y'all got it. I'm through.
You might
Ron is
want to sell that
really
one to the
stressed.
NBA.
Hold on. What's that? What was that?
I said, Ron, they are clearly stressing you.
Yeah, because man, I was looking for win number 5. I was looking for a turning point, and then all of a sudden, I was like, I was great. Text Coach Mack and say, "You see, my boys are back." But then all of a sudden, I was like, "What?"
Just really quick to touch on Zion. I have not given up hope on him yet. I have not given up. I think that Zion still has a lot of potential, and I think he shows glimpses of that. Like you said, that game where he had almost 40 points, and I think he may have finished with a double double, if I'm not mistaken.
Mm-hmm.
He played really great basketball, and so you see these glimpses of him being able to be successful and be the player that everybody expected him to be. But I've always wondered, him being compared to LeBron, what type of pressure that puts on an individual. And then not only that, but you're coming into the league with being compared to one of the greatest players to ever touch a ball. Then you come out and you have an injury right away. So now you're having to battle through adversity right away, which probably explains the weight that he's put on. And yes, he's had time to lose the weight. But if we look, Zion was bigger in college, though, too. He's been moving that weight around for a long time. He's been moving that weight around. But I think that's what's going to be the difference for him in order to elevate his game. This is not college anymore. You're playing against competition where you're not just going to bully everybody and throw your weight around the same way. So, and not only that, but him being 6'6", it's not, you're going to need to do something to elevate your game. So I think Zion still has lots of potential. I think if he can get a mentor, somebody can get their hands on him, we may see a different player.
Well, what's Mr. Johnson doing?
I like what you said, Coach, but that's the difference between being good and great.
Yeah.
And if you have to have somebody as a professional, to motivate you every game that you step out on the court, that you know and that you're getting paid so much money. This is your livelihood. This is what you get paid for. This is the entertainment that people come to see you to play. And you're not up every day for every game, and you're not working hard to get better, then there's some mental aspect to your game. I really think that no matter how many great coaches you bring in to push this guy to do this or to do that, the bottom line is, if it is to be, it's up to me. So I think it's just up to him. And if he wants to leave New Orleans, why don't you just tell him, hey, get me out of here. Let me go somewhere else and play because I'm not happy here. And at times, that's what it looks like to me. It's like he's not happy and he, probably wants to be moved somewhere else. And if he does, I wish him the best because he's not doing nothing for that team but hurting them.
Agreed.
Yeah.
Agreed. But honestly, he does have a lot of tea going on, though, too. I know we like tea. Zion had a whole situation over the summer.
One thing's for sure, we know that Zion loves Dallas, and he loves Dallas for a reason.
Yep.
Why you love
Talk about
that
reason?
Yeah.
Why are you Dallas?
Oh, it goes down in Dallas for Zion. Let me say this: Zion
like
loves Dallas the way he loves the buffets in New Orleans.
He likes to belly up to the bar now.
He likes to belly up to the bar.
Well, Coach K had told him there. First of all, he did say that he should have stayed in college, and then he talked about his weight. There was a lot of good points that Coach K had brought up, but he didn't want to listen. He wanted to make himself eligible for the NBA. So the only person that Zion truly has to blame is Zion, no matter which way you look at it, because he talked about his game. He said he really wasn't ready yet. Put in another year. Let me work with you a little bit more. Let's get you a trainer. He was going to set him up for an actual NBA career, but nope. See, the problem is when you start hearing the cha-ching going on in the background and how much you can end up doing, but it was detrimental too to Zion because you knew you were getting drafted by the Pelicans, and yet the following year you wanted to dog them and tell them that, I don't want to be here, this, and that. Come on, bro. You knew where you were going. It wasn't like the Knicks weren't like, let me trade with the Pelicans so I can get this pick. Everybody knew your value had dropped, but you thought you were going to be, the next LeBron, the next Kobe, the next MJ. Bro, you're not even the next Duka. You're not. And it's bad because what you brought to the table was absolutely nothing at this point. And I'm sorry, if I'm a fan of the Pelicans, I'm thinking, bro, you deserted us. And you really want us to really embrace you when you still haven't embraced us? So, the product and the proof is all in the pudding. And so for me, if you want to, like everybody else, when you want to point a finger at somebody, right, there's always a three. They come back and point at you no matter which way you look at it, right? Some people are going to actually take that thumb. If you really look at it, boomerangs off the knees, so it's still pointing back at you no matter which way you look at it. So if you want to talk about someone else's game or talk about how New Orleans didn't treat you, New Orleans went all out to welcome you because you were supposed to be the future of that franchise. And basically you turn around, not only did you stab in the back, all the knives, they still can't take out the biggest one you put in them. So
That's right.
how do fans are supposed to expect the way you felt towards him when you still hadn't respected his city whatsoever? So listen, it wouldn't have worked in Philly. I tell you that much. Andrew Bynum figured it out when he decided he wanted to get injured, got all that money, and then he went bowling, and the fans found out. Oh, buddy, did he find out? But
Hey, Angel, you might as well just come on, step up on the soapbox next to me, man. You're doing a good job.
well, because again, it's just there's certain people just you should know. It's really bad, and I feel bad for Victor too because for Victor, he come on,
Oh,
it's his first NBA season. I know there's a high expectation coming out of him, but you can't pressure this kid. You can't. He's coming to learn a completely different system. He's coming to learn how to be here in America amongst the thousands that are just walking in from the border, but that's a whole different show for a whole different day. But I'm just saying, Victor's coming in like you're putting an immense amount of pressure. He cannot carry the entire team. He's learning the system. He's just trying to figure out. He's trying to get his feet from under him to get better. But now all the same people, because what happened prior to the draft? Victor this, Victor that. His name was plastered everywhere. He's the next Messiah. It's going to be terrific when Victor comes. And now San Antonio is not where they want to be. And now people want to question him to make the right move. So which one is it, guys? Do you really like Victor? Or was he just that, that shiny object that everybody thought, boy, this is terrific. And now you want to just sit him on the shelf like the elf on the shelf and then not let him play again. It's just, you can't have it both ways.
right.
And
right.
for Victor, it's going to take time. It's going to be a thing for Bill. Look at Joel Embiid when he first came over. Same exact way. It's a process, but everyone wants instant gratification, and you can't have it. Now, Victor, compared to that Pelican, Victor's a whole different level compared to that one.
I like how you say he is a pelican. He's just a bird sitting on a log out in the Gulf of Mexico. That's what pelicans do. All they do is sit out on a log and just look all day long.
Yep.
But you're right. But you know what? At least if Victor goes out and he tries to play and he gives a little effort and he's competitive. He's just not out there just, run up and down the court and not trying to get it done. And he is learning. His first year, they're going through their growing pains with Victor. But I tell you what, he's giving it more than what Zion I have seen in the last 2 or 3 years. And just think, you got John and Zion got in the league at the same time. Zion has played 50% less than Morant. Can you believe that? 50% less.
Wow.
Yeah.
And Ja hasn't played for 8 months. So that's
Right.
Yeah.
volumes.
Right. And it's
Yeah.
still like Zion's played like 100 something games and Morant's has played like 260 or 70 games.
Wow.
And am I nuts to think when it comes to John Morant? And listen, he came back, game winner, whatever you want to call it. But I got a funny feeling there's somebody out there that does not want him in the league, and I wouldn't be surprised if and that could be a small if one of his boys do not release another picture, another video, something from the old, but it's going to be one of those things like, oh, y'all thought that was going to go away? That's just my feeling. So enjoy him for the moment because I just think there's something else that's going to be coming down the pike.
So, conspiracy.
Yeah, I really like Ja. I really like Ja as a player, but I just hate his entourage. I don't like the crowd because it's like it's always something, like you said. And I wouldn't be surprised if something else came up. And it seemed like it's happening right after each other. Come on, Ja. Like you could really have the opportunities to be the face of the NBA, like hands down. You are in that conversation. But if you in and out of court every 6 months, like, come on, man, you just gonna wipe yourself out. So, I mean, I love to see his game. He's such an electrifying player. He's so fun to watch. He's very entertaining. He's very competitive. compared to sorry, Ron, but
No. Don't
yeah.
be sorry. Don't be sorry. Be
But I
truthful.
mean, if you're comparing personality, attitude, the mental aspect of the game from Ja to Zion, it's like you can tell that Ja wants it more compared
Oh
to
yeah, he
Zion,
wants it
and
more.
it
He
shows
wants it
in his
more. It
game.
shows.
Yeah, and he's much more confident in himself and what he can do. And I mean, Zion, I don't know. Zion might need to just go see a sports psychologist to help him
Yeah, he may
mentally
have some
because
mental
it's at this
issues. He
point
may.
is all about, you know, really being confident in what you can do, not comparing yourself to other people. That's the biggest downfall that a lot of people face is that they always compare themselves to other people instead
Yeah.
of
Right.
just being you, being the unique you.
Mm-hmm.
And that's enough. That's good enough. You don't have to be LeBron. Be Zion and Zion
Yeah.
only because it's only one you. So appreciate that. But
Right.
I don't know.
Yeah. And I'm not here to beat them up
Mhm.
because that's what happens when we, get on and we analyze people. We sometimes we beat them up and we beat down on them. But I'm not here to do that. I'm not here to say, I'm disappointed
Mhm.
because I know he can do better
Yeah.
because we have seen flashes of
Yeah.
him doing better and doing some really athletic things on the basketball court and scoring the way you need to score and having the footwork and movement, the strength to rebound, the passing, and all those other things that
Hmm.
it takes to be an NBA player. We've seen flashes of that, but he's just not consistent and he's not disciplined enough to
Yeah.
keep it all together. So it's not like he can't do it. He just don't want to do it
I've
all
just
the time.
yeah, I've just never seen somebody trying to leave the NBA faster than
Right.
than Draymond Green. Draymond Green and Ja
Oh.
said,
Yep.
you two, between you two, I've never seen two players trying to get out the league so fast. I'm talking about how? How do you guys continue to make this level of I don't get how you make those type of decisions and you come to those conclusions knowing that every action has a consequence. So,
Right.
I'm like, you are the youngest player I've ever seen trying to hurry up out the league. So
Mm.
I hope that he gets it together. I agree with Coach Mack. I think he is an electrifying player. I would love to go see him play in person. Um,
Hmm.
and might have to make that trip, being
It's
only
just right down the street
4 hours away,
from you.
right down the street, and so.
Yeah.
But at the same time, it's like, Ron, if I buy that ticket, is he going to be there? There's no,
And that's the thing we have to worry about, now. As far as a person being going to a game, we go to the game and the product's not even there. He's not. Doesn't even show up on the floor. He's hurt. Like you said, he may be suspended. So you're right. I mean, and it takes not only $50 or $30. It's like $200 to go to an NBA game for one person.
Mhm.
Hmm.
It's ridiculous. So I agree with you, Coach Johnson, on that.
Now we all could go to Detroit. I think for maybe about $10.
You gotta buy one, get one.
Oh, don't talk about Motor City like that, girl.
When you can scratch
Yes.
many L's versus the wins on the board, right? There's a problem. Two people, Brendan said that Coach Johnson handling business, and Mama Davis says, I just want to taunt his dad.
Ja's dad.
Yep.
That is
T.
funny.
But you got to think about it. So first they said with Draymond, right? He was suspended indefinitely. Now all of a sudden he's going into a 3-week program,
3 weeks, yeah,
right?
yeah.
Which means that the NBA is going to bring him back.
Vacation.
Right.
Yes.
So if you got to think about it, so let's just say if now you're the person assigned to Draymond, and he walks into the office, Mr. Green, how are you? I'm good. Is there anything you want to get off your mind? I feel like choking you. What was that? Nothing. I felt like I was choking something. I said, oh, okay. Well, sit down. Let's talk about it. Because you got to think about it. If you say something that he doesn't like, all of a sudden, why are you walking this way? Oh, I'm sorry. I thought I was having a dream. Because at this point, what can you possibly say to save yourself to be in the? Because the minute he comes back, someone's gonna be like, yo, let's tease Draymond. Let's say something. right? All you gotta say is boo,
Yeah.
and you know he's gonna go off on you. So you're right, Coach John, because I mean, you have again, and I know, trust me, I know sometimes you come out on athletes. I get it, I understand it. In the broadcast industry, it's a whole different, a whole different beast. But there's a difference. Now, you talk about the Pelican, and the Pelican can't seek, like when you look in the mirror, you should be looking and saying, okay, what do I need to do that's different? Come on, Mirror, tell me. But his thing is like, who you looking at, bro? I know you ain't looking at me. You must be looking at your shadow behind me because I'm fine. And so there's a big difference for people that know, like after a while, you got a friend, there's somebody that that it's like, all right, man, listen, I talk to you, I try to tell you, you trying to holler at this person over here, you ain't got no game, but yet you still want to try to holler, like what's wrong with you? And after a while, it's like, okay, let me think. All right, I'm doing something wrong. Let me approach it this way. But some people, no matter how many times you say it over and over again, it doesn't matter. It deflects. No, what was that? It's nothing. It's like a net. So the problem is that you look at someone like Ja, and you hope that it's like, all right, you know what? I'm back here. I get an opportunity once again for the third time. Let me make things straight. I just got a feeling that something else is going to come down the pike, and it's going to be one of his own boys because they don't want to see him in there. So you got it. Draymond is the same exact way too. I don't know what he can just. There's nothing at this point that you can save face or save value to tell people I'm not really like that. Because I'm telling you, in that room with that dude, he's probably like, yeah, listen, I know last week you talked about you wanted to choke me. So I got this shield, all right, in between us. Because I want to make sure you don't come over here. You don't come my way. Because what conversation can you have? Let's be honest. There isn't a conversation in the world that you could talk with Draymond to say, when is enough enough? I could be wrong, but I love to get your thoughts.
I'm just wondering, what do they think 3 weeks is going to do for him?
Nothing.
3 weeks.
When
21 days.
how
21
many
days.
years of a terror? 3 weeks compared to how many years of just being on a terror?
Right.
Right. 3
It's
weeks.
insane.
That's the best y'all can come up with. That's what y'all can come up with. Therapy for 3 weeks.
Wow.
I mean,
I wonder what our fans would have to say about that. What do they think about the three weeks that Draymond is going to be going under this therapy for?
Well, I see
Maybe
my
they,
parents are in the chat with a lot of conversation. So
oh, okay.
Yep.
both mom and dad.
I wonder
Yeah.
what they're saying about it.
Well, he's Dad said he just needs to meet the bigger bully. That's one way to look at it.
Okay.
Also, he followed up with Draymond should have been the Bad Boys era. I'll get to
definitely.
Mr. Johnson here in a second. Then, but Dad said also it's the money giving young guys millions, more money than ever before, makes them think they can do whatever rules are not for them, so they think. And there's a lot of truth behind that one as well. And Mr. Johnson says he needs therapy for sure. But the problem is though, it's what therapy? Because they've tried that. So what therapy? Because it is, what are you going to do? Listen, give me your basketball shoes. For what? I don't know. I got to make you focus upon something. There's just something it's not registering. Draymond equals Rashad Wallace. Listen, and we had brought it up with Martinez's company earlier during the week, and someone said, well, maybe he needs to be Draymond Meta World Peace. Maybe that'll get him straightened out.
We brought that up last week.
Yeah. And it's crazy though, because when you really think about it, first of all, if you're a parent and you're looking at like, really, my child, is that what we're representing?
Yeah.
And it's simple to really think that way, but you got to think about it. It's like if you didn't have that kind of upbringing, like granted, my mom and dad, I mean, they were divorced for many years. My stepfather, God bless him, because he's been there, he's done everything, and has been grateful. And I'm still grateful to my dad too. He sure learned his lesson years ago. But no matter what, we never saw them argue until the very end. Like once mom found out what he did, that was a whole different story. But before then, because it was never done that way. Now, people it's like, your kids are going to watch and do and say what you do. And just go to Walmart. Who are you talking to? Like you hear these kids just rambling off. Like it's not even mom. Brenda. Yeah, Brenda. What I say? Why come you didn't get what I wanted, Brenda? That's your child.
Throat punch.
So it's the
Right in the
upbringing.
throat.
Yeah, exactly. Listen, the back of my hand. I'm sorry. Call me Brendan one more time. Let's try that again. I don't know. I'm just saying, what could he possibly end up getting for therapy when it hasn't worked in the past? So what else can be said? No respect for nothing, Dad says, and it's true. Listen, I'll bring up an example with Debbie. There's a girl that got on the bus. I'm not mentioning any ethnicities. She got on the bus, and when I started as a bus driver with my kids, I used to tell them, okay, here's the way it works, right? I am Mr. Martinez to you guys. When we build a better relationship, maybe, just maybe, I'll be Mr. Angel to you guys. But for the moment, you and I have an agreement. We come to a great accordance. Hey, we can have a great old time. High school, middle school, we're fine. The little ones, forget about it. So what ended up happening? I used to go right back to the school, and there's nobody here. Your parents will be here. The cops will be here. Because once they find out you guys aren't home, they're going to find out where the bus is, and the bus parked right here to school. We sat one afternoon for 1 hour straight, and the first parent pulled up. How come my child isn't home? Hold on. Come on the bus. I'm sorry. Say what you said to me to your mom. Go ahead. I'm waiting. Mom was waiting. Nothing. Right? I said, but Mom, I tell you this much. That camera does not lie. So you want to find out what your kid told me? This is the reason why we're back here. And they finally straightened out. When I told them I was leaving, they all cried, right? So with Debbie, not too long ago, apparently this kid was fine when everything started. Hi bus driver, whatever case may be. Apparently she felt some kind of way about a week and a half ago when she told her, I'm fucking done with you, Deborah. First name, and cursed her out. I told Debbie, it would have been me. That child would have been right off that bus, right in with the principal. I'm not playing with that nonsense. Now, finally, the school decided to come back and do something. When they told her anything else that she's got to say, she's gone. But this is because of the coddling stuff that goes on. It's ridiculous. And you got to learn how to be a parent. When it comes to Draymond, I don't know what happened. I don't know what the deal is. If you want to be a bad boy, I think Mr. Johnson brought it up. No, your dad brought it up. That whole bad boy era, you got to get to a point to say, man, I really need to man up and I need to figure out what's going on, because if not, no one is going to respect me. Because I would hate to be his significant other. Oh my God. I hate to come home one day. You know what time it is? It's 5 o'clock. Right. And you got off of work at 4:55. Huh?
Doesn't sound like a pretty thing.
No, I think that it's Draymond will be in Shanghai in a few seasons. Like, we can expect to see that soon. He'll be over there with Hassan Whiteside and Kemba Walker and the rest of Boogie Cousins and the rest of those guys over there. And unfortunately, it's a lot of great players who could still play in the NBA that are playing overseas right now. And, it's like, but they're not going to keep tolerating that, and not only that, but you're tarnishing Steph Curry's image, not because of anything that Steph Curry is doing, but simply because he is the face of the Warriors, currently, and he will be for a long time, even after he's gone. And when you think of the Warriors now, you kind of just think about Draymond jumping off somebody's chest or, knocking them out on the 3-point line and doing a karate kick swing move to punch somebody in the face. You're not thinking about the basketball legacy that Steph has worked so hard, that those guys worked so hard to build and create, and the championships that they won recently. You're not thinking about that. You're thinking about how Draymond is a loose cannon.
Yep.
Right. Yes. And one thing I don't like is when Stephen A. Smith comes on and he wants to put Curry on the spotlight and say, like, well, he needs to step up. He needs to say something about this. Hey, come on, man. He doesn't need to say anything about it.
That really irritated me to hear Steven say that, because first off, Draymond is not a child.
Right.
It is not Steph's responsibility to take care of Draymond. Draymond is a grown man who's responsible for his own actions. If Draymond feel like he want to run through and tackle somebody, the consequences is on him. That has absolutely nothing to do with Steph. So why even try to blame it on Steph? Why even put Steph even in that sentence? Like, that shouldn't even go together. So
exactly.
I mean, Steph is trying to focus on doing his job. which is what we need for Draymond to do is his job.
His
This
job.
is what you get paid for, to play
Right.
basketball, not
Millions.
be WWE in the NBA. It's not the same cover. Like,
he went
come
he
on,
went to the wrong
Draymond.
team.
I
Huh?
need you to get this together. He in the wrong sport. He in the
Yeah, he
wrong
went to the
franchise.
wrong.
This is
Went to
NBA,
the
not
wrong.
WWE.
Right.
So, if
That's
you want
Well,
to do that part time, so be it. Just not on the floor, on the court. So come on
Absolutely.
now.
but the bad part is what makes it even worse is that he took a spot from someone who was just like, just a percentage short from making it
right.
to the NBA. You took that dream away from somebody because they believed in you to make it into the NBA. And then this is how you turn around and you tell the NBA, like, I don't care what y'all got to say. I'm going to do me. I'm not worried about anybody else. All right.
Yes.
And there's been plenty of athletes. And again, I know you guys have brought it up earlier. There are times, of course, we're going to jump on certain athletes because that, as fans, as whatever, it's what we
Right.
end up doing. But then after a while, it's like, okay, all right, maybe we need to lay back. Draymond? No.
No.
Yeah, there's no way. You can pile on him. He just take everybody like, y'all ain't nothing.
think I
It's
need
my
to
world.
talk-
Y'all just living in it.
I need to talk to Rich Paul about getting him a UFC contract.
Yes, he can get it. You know what? If Draymond did join the UFC, I don't think he would last long at
No.
all.
Nope.
No
He
way.
wouldn't. He's not ready for that. That's a totally different type of beast.
he would
Draymond
bring an audience
would
with
really
him.
go sit down.
Yeah, he would bring an audience with him for maybe about 3 fights.
I mean, saying what my dad just said, I do agree with that because have you guys noticed that they never really condemn him the way that he should
Correct.
when they speak
Right.
about him in the media, like Steve Kerr and Curry, and when they ask those guys questions? To me, I would expect they never chastise him the way that he deserves to be. And I know that, Draymond helped them get those championships. And I think that's a large reason why they don't discipline him the way that he should be. Imagine any other player, any other guy. Like, I mean, you would be gone. You would be out of there. They would not
Yep.
tolerate this. So I'm really confused. And it makes me wonder, why do they accept this from Draymond? Not one incident, not two, but multiple now over the course of multiple seasons where we've seen no improvement. Why is this still acceptable? Because, like I said, if this was just Joe Blow on the Pacers, he'd be gone. He would have been gone a long time ago. So is it because he was a pivotal part of the championship team?
I think it's more because again we don't discipline anybody anymore. That's all it's hard thing because we're scared of. I say it all the time over Martinez and company. If you are part of the butthurt society, don't bother coming over because you're going to get your feelings hurt no matter which way you look at it. Because the problem is no one wants to take someone like you don't. We've said it before in the show. You don't have to physically grab someone and shake them and tell them what's wrong with you. You can just look at them with your body mechanics and how you say things. It should be able to come across to someone. Now, if you got to get physical, it's a whole different thing. My thing is, nobody wants to take that role, that leadership, and go up to him and say, listen, Draymond, we really need to sit down, bro. We got to take some time away from everything. You and I need to have a one-on-one. And if it takes going to the UFC, all right, you know what? Let's go. Let's go. We go to UFC. We're going to get into the octagon. And here's how it's going to work. If I beat you, then we're gonna straighten you out. If you beat me, you do you. And let's see what happens. Because there's only so many times. Take a look. Who's our Chicago Bull champion back in the day? Dennis Rodman.
Oh yeah.
You take a look at that. Look how things changed dramatically. The hair, the 50 million earrings, all this stuff and everything else. and now you take a look at him. From what I understand, he's the greatest human being to ever walk the face of the earth. But when you look at all the changes, the people he dated on the whole 9 yards, it just changed who he is. And and he's to this day, unfortunately, he's got a name for himself. Why? Because you want to become a semi-bad boy. And it's, to me, if you want to leave from the game, you want to leave because you try to help out as much as you possibly could. You were a team player. That's the reason why you got drafted. If the NBA wanted a thug league, then they would have came out with it. And by all means, you would have had a bunch of people out there with knives, bats, guns, you name it. It would have been that kind of league. When you play street ball, even on the street ball level, no one ever fights. Why? Because on the street ball level, your fight is on that court. Yeah. They can talk all the trash they want to, but they're trying to make you better. Kobe, they took him out of the suburbs and brought him into the city to show him, you want to play basketball? This is how we do it here in the city. Draymond, I don't know what's it ever going to take for him to ever come out and admit, I got a major problem and I really need to take a step back and look. Because again, if I'm in a relationship and they tell me, oh, guess who just called? And it me being a female, like who? Give me somebody good. Draymond.
Oh, shit, he crazy. Hang that up.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly.
But you're right. You're
But
right,
Angel,
Angel.
I want to say this. I want to say this, Angel, because a lot of people usually say that Draymond should be like in a bad boy era. But when you think about that era, yeah, they were tough, but they played basketball. They were fundamental. So Dennis Rodman, for example, you know him as a rebounder. You don't know him as a Power Ranger. When you think about Draymond, you think about somebody that's always trying to start a fight. So it's like his anger, his reputation supersedes his talent. But when you have people that were in the bad boy era, their talent supersedes their action. Yes, they were tough. Yes, they got physical, but you knew they were going to show up and give and play. You knew they were going to show up and do what they were supposed to do, whether it's rebounding, scoring, or whatever. Draymond, you don't know if he's going to show up. Sometimes he may score, sometimes he may not. He just might have, I don't know, a loose cannon moment and just want to run down the court and tackle somebody. And he may actually show up to the game and score. You just never know what you get with Draymond. But at least with those players, you knew what you were getting.
I do agree. I think he crosses those unwritten rules of basketball that we talk about. We talked about last week, I mentioned that we all as players know there are unwritten rules in basketball that you just don't cross. Like if a guy is up in the air already for a layup or a dunk, you don't touch him. You go and contest the ball, but you're not pushing anybody. You're not, bodying somebody when they're in the air. It's just those unwritten rules of like, you don't do that because somebody can get seriously injured and it's no longer about basketball. But the way that I see Brandon commenting right now, I'm almost wondering when did he become a Golden State fan? I see he's found a new team. I see he's found a new team. So I'm throwing that out there because I've never seen him go this hard for Golden State anybody. So just throwing that out there. But it's really just the unwritten rules of basketball that makes it like, okay, you're crossing lines that it's like you can be physical, you can get an elbow off here and there, that type of stuff. But when you are jumping on somebody's chest after they've fallen on the ground,
chasing somebody,
it's just it's too much. It's too much. But I see after we hang up, I'll definitely have to make a phone call because
What's that?
I see somebody has a new team in the comments, but
okay.
Somebody has a new team down there.
Who is it? Who is it? Coach Johnson?
Oh, Brandon.
Oh, okay.
Brandon.
I don't know who Brandon is.
My dad.
Oh, okay.
It's my dad. Ron, I've never seen him go this hard for anybody that wasn't a part of the Lakers, but when the sink starts shipping, when the ship starts sinking,
That's what it is. It's just, that's why I said it's just, it truly is a shame. Even if, so you won rings, great. But it's your actions that follow. And that's the worst part. Like for me, let me tell you something, being perfect example right here, this panel that we have together, right? I'm honored. I'm humble. I'm grateful for everyone that's here. And hold on, I got to do this. If I'm going to do this right, even for Mama Davis as being part of the crew here. But the big thing is that you have to, the people that you surround yourself with, it makes a big difference. If you want to be, and if you've never been a thug, you've never been a bad boy, none of that stuff. Now you want to be part of that crowd. Even they know, like, bro, you don't want to be coming. Don't be a part of this. Don't. Yeah. Because we've already ruined ourselves. It's just my thing is turn things around. So when you leave, your legacy is not about choking, stepping, smacking, doing all it like there's always an opportunity. Every morning when I wake up in the morning, I say, God, thank you for another opportunity for me to come out here and make good choices. Because life is about choices. You could have had the worst. Today could have been the worst day on record. I'm like, oh my God. Let me explain to you. What's guy going to tell? Bro, I saw everything. Do you not see? I can see everything that was going on from up here. So it's a difference. So when you wake up tomorrow morning, you just turn around and you say, you know what? Yesterday was a bad day. Let's make today a better day. In Draymond's world, it's like, what can we screw up even more today? Yesterday was fun, but today's going to be challenging. So I don't get it. Mama Davis says, let me bring up her comment. She says, back in the day, there were hard fouls, especially in the paint, but he's doing too much. It's beyond dirty. And
I agree.
Yep. Brandon says, you guys are the bomb.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah, a part of me kind of wishes Draymond got to play in the bad boy era because they would have chewed him up.
Oh,
Mm-hmm.
yeah.
Oh yeah.
Oh, yeah.
He would have got clothesline.
man,
He would have got
would've beat him
clothesline one
up.
good time.
Oh,
They
man.
would have chewed Draymond up.
Oh,
Yeah.
every arena.
Draymond would not be the Draymond he is.
He'd be
No.
looking around like, who's gonna hit me next? They were they were gonna bring it. You knew it was coming. So you want to be a bad boy? Well, they got some bad boys coming. They got some bad boys over in Detroit. They got some bad boys over in LA.
Try that,
man.
I was saying,
they
try
got
that
some bad
Detroit
boys.
Pistons team then.
Oh, yeah,
When they were in the
got some
Palace.
bad boys. Yeah,
Yes.
they got some bad boys in Boston. They got some bad boys in Philly. They were bringing them from everywhere.
Everywhere.
Back in the day, Indiana, they had some bad boys too. So I'm gonna tell you what, he would have ran into bad boys all the time. And when you went down to Atlanta, they had a couple of bad boys down there too. So
Yep.
every time you turn around, they would send the bad boys after you, Draymond. They would have, because that's what they look forward to.
Yes.
Yep. That's for certain. But as quickly as the time came, as quickly as it went, but since we went into the Draymond stratosphere,
It's hard to avoid, Angel. It really
is.
It's hard.
Listen, you're not telling me anything different because I'm telling you, I would love to be a fly on the wall because it would be one of, like with a therapist. Because honestly, it's got to be one of those things like, oh my God, what am I getting? What am I getting? What am I getting? Draymond's here. Everything okay? Because you just don't know. But it's Lakers had to be the baddest. I'm saying no. Lakers are not the baddest. No.
Okay. Now he want to talk about the Lakers. Okay.
No, what's wrong with talking about the Lakers?
Draymond. Stay with Golden State and Draymond.
Yes.
No, let's talk about them. No, I'm just kidding. I ain't gonna talk about your Lakers.
We got my thing is because we'll be off obviously during the holiday break, so I want to bring things up on the up and up here. As Brandon says, let's see what he says. Really, he's my type of player without all the shenanigans. Right, without all the shenanigans. Correct. It's two different people.
Yeah.
Two different people.
He's a lot of people's player without all the shenanigans. Yeah, he's right.
Yep.
Right.
But this is we always like to say it's the time to reflect. We're 5 days away from Christmas. And let me say this to the folks out there. Let's not forget when we're talking about the holidays, okay? Merry Christmas. Think about that word that's in there, right? Christ, Christmas.
Right.
Let's not forget the man who makes all this happen, number one. Because without him, okay, we wouldn't be here. All this stuff in society wouldn't be here without him. So let's not ever forget to thank God for what he does each and every day. Brandon is really a football fan, as Mr. Johnson comes around and brings it out. So,
I hope he's not talking about my New Orleans Saints who play tomorrow.
OJ.
Oh my gosh.
Oh man, hold on, we're gonna have a battle here. Brandon Cunningham, Merry Christmas, and you guys keep up the good work. Oh man, thank you. But listen, it's first of all, it can't. Okay, as Brandon says, okay, little Dallas.
Yes, this is all the time.
But no, it's about being grateful, and thankful for obviously our family, our friends, The people that hold on, wait. First, Mama Davis. So is this the actual exit?
That's the exit.
Okay. Oh, the sounder for some reason not working. Want to make sure if she exits the building, she gets it with the proper exit there. But no, it's just, it's always good to reflect, this time of the year, because every year we hope that one year after the other gets better. We're thankful for a lot of stuff. Oh, he's got to get back to work. All right, Brandon. Enjoy work time. Hold on. Mr. Johnson says, get that work in, mama. And Mr. Johnson, you are coming on after a holiday. She just want to let you know I'm trying to get set up a lot of things. No, see, now I played a sounder, and you said you were gone. See what happens? Look at that. Mm-hmm. Okay, I got you. Don't worry.
He doesn't need extra music, Angel. Keep going.
Okay.
look, she being hateful that it's the extra music.
She's laughing about it, though.
All right, Draymond.
Listen, the only person ever has got it, and I got tons of people that tune in to Martinez and Company. The only person gets their own sounder. I'm just saying. But no, it's it's that time of year. We all we like to thank each other and thank for be grateful for things. And I will say this much and you guys have heard me say it, and it is the Christmas time. But I'm forever grateful that I was able to have Ron and Anisha, Coach Johnson. She already knows. She already knows. It was that steel factor is the way it works out for me. But having you guys here. I'm humbled for sure, and I'm beyond grateful because just meeting you guys and having fun week in and week out. Maybe missed a show here once or there. As you guys heard the phone call that came in as the show got a delayed start, because again, it's great to be relied upon and dependent upon, but also thankful for the people that are here, and thankful for the people that are still here, even for the folks who aren't here, because we always got to remember the folks that left their legacies behind. But it's just that time of the year that we just got to be really thankful for what we have. And so for Coach Mack and Ron, Coach Johnson, Mr. Johnson, Mama Davis, for Brandon, for everybody, it's just, I'm thankful for having you guys in my life, and for just y'all just being here, because even as crazy as the day was today, and believe me, it was one person, I almost turned into Draymond. I'm just saying, because one person can't get the message. I wouldn't go on that deep, but it's just it's having fun, and when you look forward to something, that's the best part of it. Wednesday is a doubleheader for me. Monday, Tuesday, matter of fact, Thursday even now becoming a doubleheader. But this is the best doubleheader of the nights of the week, and I can't thank you guys enough for just being a part of all this and an extension of the family.
Thank you, man. Angel.
Thank you.
It's a joy to be here, and I'm forever grateful for the opportunity, and I'm really glad that I got to cross paths with you through TBL and that you stole me.
She liked that you stole her.
Yeah, by all means, it's well worth it, Mr. Johnson. Thank you as well, Mr. Johnson. Believe me, and that picture was on point. I'm just saying. I'm going to need an autograph, an 8x10, and then when I go out on location, I got to use the pull-up version of it. So I go back and say, I know them. Mm-hmm. But no, it's just an opportunity. The same way with Ron and I, it's an opportunity stolen. As Mr. Johnson puts it up there.
Hey, Angel, we off next Wednesday?
Yes.
Christmas.
Okay.
Yep.
Well, let me have not only Merry Christmas but Happy New Year in there.
Yes, Happy New Year as well.
Yes.
Yep. So we'll be back after a New Year, but yeah, it's gonna be a break. So kind of a break, not really a break, but I'll be off from Martinez and Company. But then I have a week's worth of covering the Relia Quest Bowl, which I had credentials for. So I'll be covering the bowl game for LSU. Ron.
Oh, LSU Tigers.
Yep. So I'll be at the press conference, coaches press conference. I'll be at the beach day. There's the bowling tournament over in Tampa. And then there is the New Year's Eve parade. I'll be covering that as well. I am going to confiscate a float. Just saying, so you guys happen to see me on TV. It might be because Tampa police might be chasing me. I'm just putting it out there. But I'll be covering the parade as well, and then the New Year's Day game. I'll be on the sideline reporting, so it'll be a fun coverage. But no, it's just again, you have to be humble and grateful for everything you have, and you can't forget God makes everything happen. And there was years ago that I lost that faith, but He woke me up one day and said, "Don't worry about it. Things will get better." I will say, and I don't share too many private things in my life, but my ex, one day you will have to pay your penance to God. And it's not cool that it's been over a year since I talked to my daughters, but one day you'll have to pay your penance. It's going to happen.
Sorry.
It's going to happen. It kills me
Hey,
this time of year because...
let me ask you a question. How tall are you?
How old am I?
No, how tall?
Oh, 6 foot even.
Oh, okay, because I was going to say Brian Kelly's like 5'6", so when you interview him, man, don't tower too high over. He's a little bitty guy. I thought he was like 5'11". He's like short, man. He's short. So
Yeah, I'll go down to one knee.
go down to one knee. make him look the same size. Or sit in a chair with him.
Yeah, I'll make sure I'll do that. But no, it's just life has mysterious ways to work. But I'm like I said, I didn't know my network was going to take off the way it has, and I'm really grateful for that. I'm beyond grateful as well for honestly, I goof around about it a lot, but I'm glad that I listened in on a game. I'm glad that you are the first and only female and only broadcaster in the TBL, and I will say that loud and proud, that knocked it out the park. And those numbers, I don't think will ever be met again. So that's why St. Louis, no. There's bigger and better plans coming up for, I'm just saying, for this future broadcaster. There's bigger plans. Prayers up, Angel, in due time. Keep finding your, listen, thank you, Mr. Johnson, because I'm telling you, I'm a patient man. But my daughter's birthday is coming up January 5th. The last time I talked to my daughter, January 5th of last year.
Wow.
So it's I'm not gonna lose it here on the air because Lord knows I do it enough in the car. I'll just put it that way. But
like Dallas said, never stop fighting.
No.
Always fight for him. Always.
it's
And
okay.
in due time.
It will. Every dog
Hey,
has his
Angel,
day.
have you heard about this new athletic union for women's basketball? It's going to be based out of Dallas. There's several women that are signing
Yep.
contracts with them. Coach McBride
See
knows
it
about
from
it.
Vegas. Yep, see it from Vegas. She's playing on it, or she played in it last year. So yeah, it is a new team or a new union that happens in Dallas that occurred last year. I plan on going to it this year. I can't remember when. It's supposed to be somewhere between February and March, I think, somewhere around there. So yeah, it's good. It's a good league.
All right.
Yeah, with the ex-pro basketball players on it, yeah, it's going to be pretty good. Coach, you should be a lead broadcaster on one of those teams.
That would be nice.
That will be nice.
Sure
That
would
and the
be.
G League. I'm getting more interested in the G League, by the way. So
Yeah, that's right. That's right.
they got their winter showcase going on right now. That's in Orlando, actually. I think today or tomorrow is the last day for the showcase.
It's at the Wild World of Sports complex in Orlando.
I can't remember.
Or maybe the Amway.
Oh,
Yeah, probably so.
Is it
I
at
do-
the Amway?
I do know it's a private. I can't remember, but I do know that it is pretty much a private event, so it's not open to the public,
Oh, okay.
which is interesting. But yeah,
I know one of our coaches, Freddie Zamora, just got called. He got the call to the G League from the TBL.
Oh, nice.
nice.
Okay.
Yep.
Nice.
So, yeah, it was had a good conversation with him. He's excited as far as being up in the G League. So, and I mean, he's not stopping until he gets to the NBA. And very smart coach. So, that's a good call. But then the second and third is the combine of February for the TBL. So, you talk about a whirlwind of events. I got to figure out how to get all that stuff ready on top of then doing the radio show from up there as well. It's going to be. I'm not even looking forward to next year. I'm just saying.
It's time for some interns to come work for you.
Yeah.
I'm going to make
I'd
a
hope.
surprise visit.
That's okay. right? And I'd be good. Except for when St. Louis is there. Then I'm gonna have to get a shield just like Draymond and everything else. That's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna get a cutout of Draymond. So when St. Louis see me, what?
Boy, you're a funny dude.
But for everyone else, listen, we hope that everyone has
Draymond.
an enjoyable Christmas. Don't forget to thank God for everything that you have today, because without him, again, none of this happens. None of us are together, and we can't thank him enough. Also, don't forget for New Year's, right? Go out there and celebrate, but make sure you always are aware of your surroundings, because there's a lot of people out there that want to do some silly things, so don't get caught up in a mess. So thank you once again, Coach Mack, Worldwide, Coach Johnson, everyone here that comes back every single week. And for that one person, which I believe is Diggs over there on Twitch, thank you very much, because without you guys, things don't happen. So things are going to change when we come back. It would be a kind of a different setup. There'll be different things that will be going on, but you guys end up enjoying it. And Coach Johnson, I still got to have that phone conversation with you. So hopefully maybe this weekend, if not, maybe tomorrow, Friday. What time you get? Well, no, yeah, I'll text you in the morning on Friday,
Okay.
and we'll put a time together and kind of make things happen. So for everyone else, thank you once again. We appreciate it, and we will see you guys in the new year, literally.
See you later.
for 2024.
Bye.
Holidays.